Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Team O'Connell with another video. Today I got some more VGC 17 battles here on the battle spot, but this time I got a new team. It's quite interesting. It's a team I like a lot. I prefer trick room teams. I like switching in, switching out, and stuff like that. So, give you a quick rundown of the team. You can see the four here on the screen: Tapu Fini, Kartana, Mudsdale, Porygon 2. The other two on my team that I didn't bring to this battle are the Araquanid and the Alolan Marowak. So a very Trick Room oriented team. I do have two fast Pokemon, however. The first two I have are going to be max speed. Tapu Lele is timid with the choice specs. Kartana is going to be jolly with a focus sash. So just my damage dealers. So Araquanid, I was debating who I wanted to give the Z Crystal to. I gave it to Araquanid just because him and Tapu Lele were my two competitors since Psychic Terrain, Z Psychic, Shattered Psych if you prefer that. But Z Psychic is really powerful. So was a Z Liquidation. So I was kind of debating, but I decided Choice Specs would be better I wanted to try out Choice Specs. I haven't tried out Tapu Lele yet. I know sometimes they run Choice Scarf, sometimes they run Choice Specs. So I just wanted to try it out a little bit. Mudsdale's going to be holding the Assault Vest. Kartana. So I was debating again who was going to get the Assault Vest, Mudsdale or Kartana. But Mudsdale with the Assault Vest is so tanky. Obviously the Eviolite Porygon 2, which is also going to be incredibly tanky. So you're going to see more as the battles come on. So I'm not going to spoil everything, you just have to keep on watching. So these were, as you can see, they were championships battles. They weren't free battles. I tried some, but a lot of the people were using Pokebank Pokemon. So, but like before Pokemon Bank was released for Sun and Moon, no one could use Pokebank Pokemon, but now a lot of people are. So I said, I'll just go do some regular battles. So my first opponent had some pretty common Pokemon on her team. It was Mimikyu, Smeargle, Marowak, Araquanid, Shiinotic, and Pelipper. So the two interesting Pokemon here are Shiinotic and Smeargle. So Shiinotic's that new spore mushroom Pokemon. Not as overpowered as Amoonguss was. Back when Amoonguss came out, it was really popular, really powerful. So you had to be careful for Spore, excuse me. Smeargle, thank goodness, I actually found out. I didn't know this at first, but I looked it up on the internet, and Smeargle no longer gets access to. Well, it can, but it can't use Dark Void. If it uses it, just says, oh, it can't use it or whatever. So that's really nice, really helping out with the format. So I don't know what to expect from the Smeargle. There's a lot of things it could do. So I decided the best thing to go with here is just full offense, full speed, full offense here. He most likely has a Trick Room team as well. Especially with these slow Pokemon, Alolan Marowak, Araquanid are some of the slowest Pokemon in the game. Shiinotic is also really slow. So I didn't know if he was going to bring Pelipper. I think it was just more of if his opponent had water on his team, or maybe to boost Araquanid's power even more. But we're going to go ahead and get started in this first battle. My opponent leads Mimikyu Smeargle, so that really I'm like, okay, I have no idea what's going on here. But I go with Tapu Lele Kartana, so he can't fake out, because like I was talking about last episode, very common is a fake out Trick Room turn 1, but since I have the Psychic Terrain, he can't fake out. So here I switch out with Tapu Lele. I'm fearing a Ghost type move into that slot, so I go into Porygon 2. If he goes for the Ghost type move, I'll be immune. So I get the attack boost, and I see a small follow me from somewhere like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I was thinking about going for because one of the things that influenced my decision here was Kartana is faster than Tapu Lele, so I could have, if Kartana was slower, I could have gone for a Dazzling Gleam Smart Strike in the Mimikyu. But Kartana is faster, so I just went for Smart Strike, and we do see the Trick Room. But I'm in a good spot. If I predicted Trick Room, I probably would have switched in Mudsdale. But I didn't know what to expect specifically. Luckily, he doesn't get a good Moody boost. But here with Porygon, I just go for Ice Beam into Smeargle. Because I was like, it doesn't really matter what I do. I didn't need to go Ice Beam into... Well, I guess technically it could have helped if I went with the Ice Beam into Mimikyu and then the Sacred Sword or the Smart Strike into Smeargle. I would have gotten the attack boost. But it's not too big of a deal. I just wanted to cover any possible switches. So I'm going to bust this guys, and he's going to bring in Marowak. So Kartana's in a pretty bad spot here, but I'm going to go for Protect, Detect if you want to be specific. And he predicted it really well. He went for the Bone Ring into Porygon 2. And he didn't go for the Flare Blitz because he also might have been predicting a switch into like Araquanid or probably Mudsdale. So a good prediction on my opponent's part because he doesn't attack Kartana. He just goes straight into the Porygon slot, so he gets lots of damage off. So a really good move on his part. The thing is it's not too big of a deal for me because Porygon 2 isn't that important. So I bring in Mudsdale here, predicting him to attack that slot again. And we do see the Flare Blitz, so a really good play on his part. I protected last turn, so now I'm vulnerable this turn. However, I do have the Focus Sash, so once if he was going to double target into that slot, Kartana is still going to be able to pick up a knockout onto this Mimikyu. And Mimikyu does go for the player off into Mudsdale, which is perfect, because now I'm going to get a defense boost. So, especially since he's got 2 physical attackers, I mean, I'm going to pick up the knockout on Mimikyu right here. But still nice to have against that low and Marowak, because it's not going to be able to knock me out with anything, even a Shadow Bone. Unless he crits Shadow Bone. And then I'll just be able to threaten a knockout with high horsepower. Since he doesn't have anything else to switch in, I'm in a really good spot. So we are going to see the last Pokemon he has is Araquanid. But I protect here. This is going to be the last turn of Trick Room. So I'm in a really good spot here because Mudsdale is by far the slowest thing on the field. So I'm going to pick up the knockout on Marowak here. And a Liquidation won't pick up the knockout since I have the defense boost. But we actually see he's a special attacker. So he's going to go for the Scald. So it's understandable since it is stronger than Liquidation. But not too big of a deal. So the defense boost isn't going to matter. He doesn't even pick up the knockout. Just how bulky Assault Vest Mudsdale is. So I have 2 really low Pokemon right there, but he's going to end up forfeiting because it was a 4v1. So I had a Leaf Blade coming his way. It was going to be I believe it was a +3, or excuse me, a +1. It could have been a +2, but it was a +1 Leaf Blade going into the Araquanid slot. So, and he could have picked up the knockout on Mudsdale if he wanted, but then he would have left Kartana in, so he was just in a bad spot. So, plus that, my Porygon 2 carries Thunderbolt like most do, just for those Water-type Pokemon. So, pretty easy game 1, not necessarily because my opponent played bad, because like I said, he made some really good reads. It's just with these bulkier Pokemon, Mudsdale is so bulky, he was able to take a Scald or a Water-type move from Araquanid. It was able to do all this stuff, so really nice. His lead wasn't the strongest. I mean, he lost a lot of pressure. Like, his Smeargle basically did nothing. Well, I guess maybe not. It kind of delayed things, but he just wasn't able to get things going like the way he would have hoped. So the Smeargle, I guess, kind of did a job. The Mimikyu didn't really do anything. I mean, he went for players in the Porygon 2, but it's so bulky, so he just wasn't able to get anything done. So a good game 1, a good show of how strong the team is, offensively and defensively. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next battle. Here, my opponent had a really interesting team, and things kind of scared me a little bit, I guess you could say. He had a team of Buzzwole, Alolan Ninetales, Tapu Koko, Xurkitree, Alolan Raichu, and Beware. So Alolan Raichu scares me, 1, because he has Tapu Koko and its speed's going to be doubled, and 2, I have Tapu Lele, so if the Psychic trains out, he can go for Psychic-type moves that are going to be incredibly powerful. So here I'm like, Mudsdale is a must here. I got super effective. I got Heavy Slam for the Ninetales. I got for all of his electric types, I have High Horsepower and Earthquake. Tapu Lele is going to be good here as well for that, mainly for that Buzzwole. But also it carries Thunderbolt, so Tech Move I put on there. So I'll be able to take advantage of the Electric Train if it is up. And Porygon 2, obviously, for the Trick Room. Alolan Marowak is also going to be key here for the Lightning Rod ability. So there's my team fares well against his. So I'm pretty confident going into this one right here. I like his shirt. So I just noticed that. But we're going to go ahead and get started. He leads Buzzwole Ninetales, and I lead Porygon 2 Marowak. So here I feel like I'm in a really bad spot because both these Pokemon are essential to my victory. And Buzzwole threatens knockout. Well, I don't know. I just don't want Porygon 2 to take a bunch of damage, like him go for a Blizzard, Close Combat, or Superpower, or whatever Buzzwole gets, and pick up the knockout. So predicting a fighting type move, I go out into Tapu Lele here, and his Ninetales goes for a straight up protect. So I was like, okay, that's an interesting point. I was thinking maybe he'd go for an Aurora Veil, but he actually has Earthquake. So I was like, you got to be kidding me, man! I don't think I've ever seen a Buzzwole before in the VGC format, this year's VGC format. And I'm like, what? It did that much damage to Marowak, and he gets a crit. So I don't know if the crit matters all that much because I went for a Flare Blitz in that slot, and Buzzwole has a lot of HP. So I think I might have knocked myself out anyways from the recoil. So I might not have. I don't know. But it would have left me, like, if it wasn't a crit, it would have left me with, like, 40 or 50 HP. So maybe a little bit more, but I still think I would have knocked myself out. So realizing that, I'm like, wow, that's actually a really big knockout for him, because now he can bring in Tapu Koko, whatever electric types he has in the back, and start going for electric type moves. So I bring in Porygon 2 here, knowing that a Trick Room here is super important. If I don't get up Trick Room, Mudsdale's going to have a super hard time. So it is a physical Tapu Koko, and he goes for the Wild Charge in the Tapu Lulu. He gets another crit. This guy's just a crit machine. Luckily, he didn't go for that into Porygon 2, because if he got that crit, that would have been really bad. And we just see Ice Beam, so I was like, oh, he's got Ice Beam instead of... Well, actually, I guess, now that I think about it, I didn't even notice this. He doesn't even have Snow Warning. So I get the Trick Room off, which is really nice. So now that... even though I'm down a Pokemon, it's going to be 2-3. I still have Mudsdale, which is going to threaten. I have High Horsepower and Heavy Slam for both of his Pokemon. So I go for the High Horsepower since he showed Ice Beam, and Tapu Koko, in my opinion, Tapu Koko was the bigger threat there. Just because, one, his Ninetales has already shown Protect, and two, it most likely has a Focus Sash, so I can just go for the Thunderbolt and a High Horsepower, pick up the knockout, and that way I don't have to risk a double target into Ninetales and him protecting. So I feel like I made a good play there. You see how little damage that Ice Beam did to me anyways. We see the last Pokemon he has is Xurkitree, which is also incredibly fast. So no Protect from him. I go for the High Horsepower. Had to pick up the easy knockout. Luckily, no miss. It only has 95 accuracy, so I'm going to get cheesed one of these days with a miss. And another Thunderbolt. At this point, it doesn't matter. That could have missed. It could have done no damage. I just needed to break the Focus Sash, so that a potential Focus Sash, so that I could pick up the knockout with Heavy Slam. So, and at this point, even if Mudsdale goes down, these are two incredibly bulky Pokemon that this Ninetales just can't knock out. So out comes the Heavy Slam into the Ninetales. That's going to pick up the knockout. So Mudsdale coming up big in both matches, in my opinion. He's just so tanky. And in this format, there aren't too many flying type Pokemon. Like, I haven't seen very many Celesteelas. And I'm sure you guys can say the same thing if you watch the videos. There haven't been that many Celesteelas. It's definitely died down because people have found the ways of dealing with it. Lots of teams tech on electric type moves. Fire type Pokemon are really common now, especially Arcanine, who can deal really well with the Celesteela. Especially if it's got Will-O-Wisp. Intimidate does damage back. Fire type move. Incredibly strong. So, especially the offensive Arcanine that goes for the Flare Blitz, that does a lot. So, my opponent, maybe he read, well, I guess even taking out the Marowak, Porygon 2 and Marowak was a strong lead on my part where I needed at least one to win, so he focused on the Marowak, and I switched out Porygon, but I was still able to keep it alive, and I was able to take out his Buzzwole, which was the biggest threat to my Porygon. So, just showing the strength. I haven't played Araquanid yet. I don't know if I use it, if I think I use it correctly. This guy had 3 or 4 electric type Pokemon, so it wasn't safe to bring it. I guess I did have Marowak, but I still feel like Tapu Lele was a better pick just to deal with that Buzzwole in case things got out of hand. So we'll have to see. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to study more on how to use it. I just know it's a strong Pokemon, but hopefully, against obviously I guess even against a Torkoal team, it still wouldn't necessarily be the best pick since the sun would be up. So I'll have to see. I'll have to think about it. Against Will and Marowak, it's going to be a good pick. Against some of the Tapus, it's going to be a good pick. So we'll have to see. Hopefully, I can play him correctly, because he's a really strong Pokemon at the moment. But yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you guys like the new team. I really like it. I like these. I like bulkier Trick Room teams. A lot more, in my opinion, a lot more strategy involved because you have to be able to switch in correctly. So that's pretty much it. I'll keep on coming at you with some more videos. If you got any suggestions for me, let me know. If you want to battle me also, feel free to let me know. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.